Well, JoyNews is learning there's a mad rush for hand sanitizers in the central business districts of Accra. Take a look. Well, Emmanuel Jikuno took that video this morning and he joins me via phone. Emmanuel, where exactly did you take this video?
Opposite this police station, the fire service, opposite the police station. That's what I took the video for.
Okay, so this appears to be a warehouse. So these people are obviously trying to buy it so they can retail, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but
it was that one first by the one person like 2 and now they are selling it 4 million.
Emmanuel, you have to come again with that price you mentioned. You said they buy
first time you sell that one 2.3, but now it's 4 million per carton.
That's 400 Ghana cedis.
Yes, per carton.
So this is it a very small one? What kind of hand sanitizers? What's the volume?
Okay,
but how big is this? How big is this?
Oh, it's like 250 ml.
Emmanuel, you have to say that again.
250 ml.
250 ml. Okay, so you're saying the cutting used to be 230 Ghana cedis, and now it's been sold for 400 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how they are rushing to it.
Were you also trying to get a hold of the hand sanitizers? So did you eventually get it?
No. I didn't get it.
Why?
How they are rushing to it. So I couldn't get one.
But do you know, out of the many people who were trying to get a hold of it, do you know how many of them actually did?
No. How can I count? Because I can't.
I get that, but I'm asking how many of them actually got a hold of the sanitizers? How many could buy?
Like 5.
Okay. Is this the only shop in Accra selling wholesale?
No, because now the thing is short. So when the GSM is here, they all rush there. When the GSM is here, they all rush there.
Okay. Oh, all right, Emmanuel. Thank you very much for sharing this video with us and talking to us. I've also been joined by Executive Secretary of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Dennis Awiti, to give us some education on the back of that. Good morning to you, sir.
Mavi, and good morning to your listeners.
Great. Thank you for your time. I'm sure you've heard about the mad rush for hand sanitizers. Even in the pharmacies, we can't get them. Otherwise, the prices have been inflated. Can you explain?
Mavi,
Hello, sir.
This video that you just showed.
Yes.
Okay. Gives an insight into what is actually happening. As you know, for community pharmacies, they normally will go to a wholesaler within the peace and quiet and get their items to restock their facilities. There are times that wholesalers go around with vans to these pharmacy retailers or community pharmacies and to give them products. And so when it comes to rushing for products such as we saw in the video, they hardly will do that. So there are middlemen who will then go looking for this product, move heaven and hell to get them, and then we'll come back to these retailers to sell to them at cutthroat prices. And as you know, the retail or community pharmacies operate with some standards in terms of whatever margins they put on the product itself. So depending on how much they get it, they just put their margin on it to take care of overheads. And that. So sometimes, for instance, you don't get a retailer going to get 20 cartons of a product and just so they can sell it. Because they need to talk about one good retailer. They talk about 100 items. And if they with a small space they have, it will be the best basic cartons of a particular. What happens to the other person? So with a price hike, I don't think it's necessarily being asked by the community farmers.
Ms. Awiti, can you just reposition yourself a bit so we can hear you clearer than we can now?
Where do
this
I
is better. This is great.
Okay. So what I said was that, so with the community pharmacists, if you need to understand the dynamics of the supply chain based on how much they got what at the wholesale price, then they have a range of margin that they put, which it's standard across the sector in a range. So if they get it, say what is happening or what happened in the video, a middleman gets it and probably even sell it to another middleman, and then before the retailer gets it, then he puts his margin on, and those costs that came along the supply chain then factors into the final retail price that goes to the consumer, which is very unfortunate. And that is why we should try as much as possible to make sure we have hand sanitizer available, being produced locally as much as possible so that we can meet the demand. And if we meet the demand, just like the pharmaceutical manufacturers met the president yesterday, and FDA is working with them to see how best this can be done, then the prices can come down.
Of the sanitizers do we produce at all in this country?
As far as I know, most pharmaceutical manufacturers produce for internal use. So, for instance, for bigger companies, I wouldn't want to mention names, will produce for their internal use to keep their hands and their area that they work.
So not to package and sell?
No.
Okay.
So, but some, a few, 2 or 3, produce and sell. But they also have run out as at last weekend. They are producing new ones. I mean, new stocks or new batches. Okay, based on, you know, I think the announcement that the COVID, the first 2 cases were discovered just over a week ago, I believe, and then the 4 came over the weekend. So there's been a mad rush for them to also up their production. Okay. But I think people should not panic too much because we still have our traditional hand washing technique, and as long as we wash and wash well, and we continue to wash and take the good infection prevention control measures, we should be fine.
Let's just briefly also talk about the quality of the hand sanitizers on the market.
Great.
I mean, people just mixing things and selling it.
You see, the hand sanitizers that were on the market were there, have been approved by the FDA, and they have various contents. But we are looking for alcohol-based sanitizers. 2, we are not just looking for alcohol-based hand sanitizers. We are looking for ones with alcohol percentage or volume of 70% and above. The WHO recommends that we use 60% and above. So for me, it is not just the hand sanitizers, but the first should be alcohol-based. 2, they should have concentration of 70% alcohol and above.
So finally on this, what is the council doing, 1, to ensure that there's enough out there so we can all get a hold of it? My worry is when the prices are so inflated,
yes, so,
everybody cannot afford a hand sanitizer, and that will be a major problem.
So that is why we need to emphasize our good old hand washing techniques. We need to teach it. We need to educate people on it. We need to let people understand that it cannot replace, hand sanitizers cannot replace hand washing. It is convenient that you are in a place where you can't have access to running water and soap, and therefore you use the hand sanitizers. But immediately you have access to running water and soap, you should be able to wash your hands and wash your hands properly. And will be demonstrated by health professionals. But to come to the availability of hand sanitizers, as a fallout of the meeting of the pharmaceutical manufacturer with the president has impressed upon them, and they have also taken up the challenge to ensure that they liaise with the FDA and the alcohol that they have in their various facilities that they use for various manufacturing, they will be able to put a hold on the things that we need to do, which the nation do not need this time and season that we are in, so that they are able to then convert those that they have, that they are able to let go to produce hands.
So when should we be looking forward to that, as in to local industries?
The president of the Pharmaceutical Manufacturers Association of Ghana, pharmacist Kofi Nsiampoku, said it yesterday that it's something that they are engaging the FDA immediately, and so because FDA will need to give them the approval to go ahead, and I think that is being done.
Okay, so as a council, are you also cautioning your members not to inflate the prices of old stocks?
The Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, for us, our responsibility is to our members and also to the public, because we work in the public interest. And if you ask any pharmacist, weekly or twice a week, we send circulars around to our members in terms of what to do. And even as at yesterday, a circular was released to our members how to even extemporaneously prepare. When we say extemporaneously, pharmacists are taught how to do preparations on the bench. And so they are advised to do that and use the techniques that they've learned from our knowledge to produce at their pharmacies as much as possible.
And where I find that a pharmacy has overpriced products, what can I do?
So what I'm saying is that, you see, like I told you earlier, you can report, but you have to understand the supply chain. What happens with the video that you showed? If there are 2 or 3 middlemen who bought the product, which is scarce, and it's not available, and they come to a pharmacy, which has people demanding for that product, and they sell it at cut-through price to that pharmacy, and he puts just something small on it, the end price to the client becomes high, but not necessarily because of the margin the pharmacy has put on it, but because of the processes we went through. That is why it's important that we attend to the supply in terms of making sure that what the pharmaceutical manufacturers want to do is support.
So I guess
do it quickly.
I guess we cannot entirely blame your members for the prices that we're buying the product for now. Well, we thank you for your time here on News Desk. We still stay with the subject a while longer.